Hello, hello. So today is Friday, April 26th, 2024, and this is episode 13 of the Forever Getting Better podcast with Javon Brown. And I am finding some focus. I think I definitely shared a little bit of an aha or eureka moment that I had yesterday. Things are coming together. And here's the thing, and I was actually having this thought earlier, and I think it's appropriate to share here. One of the things that someone said recently that I thought was like pretty profound, and I don't know why I didn't put two and two together sooner, but they said that networking, like for business, is just professional dating. That's all it is. And one thing that I'm recognizing or that I'm noticing is like my dating patterns and my networking patterns have been completely different. So the way that I'll network is I'll essentially find one person, right? And it's counterintuitive. At least I think it's counterintuitive. So like once you get to the point where you find somebody, like let's talk about like the romantic part first, right? Let's talk about interpersonal dating or anything like that. Now, I think that there's like tons of different ways that people date. Of course, there's like arranged marriages and people who like partake in like multiple relationships at the same time and that sort of thing. And that's not what I'm talking about. But like when you first start dating and you meet somebody for the first time, you don't know anything about them, and like you're a bachelor and they're a bachelor or bachelorette or whatever the case is, and the thing is you guys enter in what some people refer to as the talking phase, right? My parents and your parents and maybe even you and sometimes I would also refer to this as the courting phase. So we're not official, there aren't any labels or anything, but I have noticed like I have like taken an interest in you, you have taken an interest in me, and so the mutual interest is there, and we're really just getting to know each other and we're feeling things out. That being said, there can still be other prospects that we both talk to at the same time, right? Because there's nothing official yet. We're not dating, right? It's just a courtship. That's all it is, right? Me trying to win your favor or vice versa, right? And so the thing is, like when it comes to business, I think something similar is needed. Now, one of the issues, and this is something that I'm realizing, like if we're going to talk about different ways that I've been the constraint or the bottleneck within my own business, is that unlike in dating, right? I haven't been effectively going through the talking phase in business. Like what I've been doing instead up until this point, which is what's actively changing because I'm recognizing this is something that I can do different, is like entering that talking phase or that courtship phase first. Okay, so you met somebody who can be a prospective business partner or employee or client, whatever the relationship is to the business. The fact is like you would like to have a relationship with this person, but you need to talk to them first. You need to court them. You need to feel each other out. And in the same way that you want to like win this person over, they definitely need to be somebody who's compatible with you and what your business model is, right? So like, what are your values? What are your beliefs? What are you bringing to the table? And what does somebody need to bring in order to complement that? What exactly are you looking for? What are your standards? What are your red flags? Like, I think these are all things worth considering whenever going into business with somebody, whether it's like because I have a retainer-based business, right? So I'm talking about long-term relationships with my clients. So like, whether it's as a client or as a business partner or as an employee, like what do they bring to the table, right? What are the green flags? What are the red flags? And I think those are things worth considering. But yeah, so I'm really starting to think about that now. And so how is this changing the way that I move, right? How is this changing the way that I execute? Well, originally what would happen is I would go to an event and I would meet somebody and they would be really interested in what I'm offering. And so I would start talking to this person. And of course, I'm talking about professional business relationships here, like nothing weird. But like I'd start talking to this person and I would just keep talking to them. And it's like from the second that this person expressed interest, I would then act exclusive with this person as a client or exclusive with this person as an employee or as a partner. And so I think part of the reason why I've like yet to see much momentum in my business, like don't get me wrong, like money is still being made, But the reason why like progress has just been slow is because I'll spend an exponentially long amount of time catering and nurturing each relationship, especially very early on. And I think that's important. I think courtship and talking is important in the beginning. But at the same time, like, I think it's equally as important to not take time and energy away from yourself. And if there are other people who you're also interested in seeing or talking to, then you need to give them like an equal amount of time, energy, and attention. And it's only fair, right? It's only fair to yourself, and it's only fair to the other people that you're talking to or courting, or the other businesses, or the other prospective employees, or the other prospective clients that you're talking to or courting, and trying to develop a professional relationship with. So yeah, that was kind of I think that's pretty much everything. Like that's my realization. So the way that things are changing, as opposed to me doing this, hey, let me go ahead and talk to this one person for the next week or 2 weeks or sometimes later, and let me hit them up every day, like you know what I mean, like the ex with separation anxiety who's just a little too clingy and I told you to leave me alone. Instead of doing that, which, let's be perfectly clear here, I don't think that's something that I'm guilty of, but like that part in particular, like I don't smother people who don't want to do business with me, but I will spend a lot of time going back to that person, and I will neglect some of the people who are also interested in doing business as a result of that. So like my current customer base doesn't suffer. The people who currently work with me don't suffer, but other people who are trying to get on board may suffer because I'm spending so much time thinking about, all right, well, what could I do differently to serve this person who said that they were ready to go, but they're not, right? So, and for me in particular, like I have had very little, actually zero objections to overcome that I'm aware of. Everybody has been pretty understanding and, good to go, ready to go when it comes to doing business. The issue that I found with my model in particular is like I will talk to people and they'll be excited and they'll be like, all right, let's get started. And I'll tell them the price and they'll be like, that's awesome, send me the invoice. And I'll send them the invoice so that we can get started. And then they don't fill out the invoice. And then when I hit them up, I don't receive a response. And so like that's been my thing. And so it's like after that, I'll then spend an exponential amount of time trying to speak to that person and figure out, okay, well, what is the issue, XYZ? But a lot of the times I won't get a response from them. So then I'm taking time out of my day in order to figure out different ways that I can improve customer service, right? And like it's this obsession with perfecting the model and perfecting that customer service experience that is taking away from other people that I could be reaching out to and potentially closing, who are more serious than the person who said send me the invoice and who didn't fill it out, right? And who didn't actually fulfill the invoice that they asked for. So I think that's really what my experience has been so far. And the major change or the major difference is, okay, well, you sent the invoice, this person didn't fill it out. Well, if you, and by you I mean I, spent more time making phone calls to other people, then I could accrue money from people who are serious, and then my customer base and client base grows as a result of that. And then I can use the experience and the relationships that I developed from those reps to not only improve the customer service experience when onboarding somebody in the future, but then I could use some of those funds to then hire the more experienced customer service rep that I don't have yet, who can then make those calls, those follow-up calls for me. Like, hey, we're not trying to sell you, we're not trying to do any of that here, but we would like to know what we could do differently in order to serve people like you better in the future. Like, what exactly happened or what was said that made you change your mind, right? And I think ultimately that's all it really takes. But yeah, anyway, that's all I have for today. Kind of a continuation, or an addition to what I was talking about yesterday in episode 12. And yep, that's it. This is the Forever Getting Better podcast with Javon Brown. And that is it. This is episode 13. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.